Hello everyone, I am Deso24, and welcome back to Reverses, the show we pit two characters from different universes and pit each other to see who will win in a research battle. I'm your host Deso24, and today's fight is between Mortal Kombat versus DC, or DC versus Mortal Kombat to be precise. With that said, we are pitting Catwoman from DC Comics versus Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat. And I am full aware that these two actually met in a non-canon crossover, but that's for a different time and we're probably not going to use that for this episode. With that being said, let's get to the analysis, shall we? Let's go! Now, for Catwoman's origin, continuing with DC continuity's origins for each of the characters are very much different and very convoluted. I had to stick which one I can find the most. Sonya's childhood is, well, not that good to be honest. Mainly, she did live with a terrible parents, but had to protect her sister, considering her mother was a abusive drunk, and her mother is mostly just, never close to her. Well, until one day she committed suicide and pretty much that her father got arrested because, well, let's be honest, terrible fatherhood. But ever since then, even living on the street, she became actually pretty good at stealing. So much so, it even led years later to own her own jewelry shop where the Dark Knight himself, Batman, is intimidated as well as finding out the missing jewelries. So much so, she actually pretty much appears in comics. But we all do know one thing: she actually interested in the Dark Knight, and as a thief herself, she actually became her own persona. And no, not a Halle Berry kind of thing, but preferring that she actually called herself Catwoman, a cat thief that pretty much steal anything that she like. To put it simply, comic books. Now for Sonya, well, her origins pretty much start off in the Special Forces. No, not that kind of Special Forces, dear God. No one talks about that kind of Special Force. But no, I'm actually talking about the Special Forces. Will be a special organization that able to take down any supernatural threats, similar to our investigation. With that said, what's your origin pretty much start here, where Sonya's origin is very, very interesting. As a top US Special Forces unit, she actually tracked down a traitor to the SF, as well as the most wanted man on Earth, and also the leader of the Black Dragon organization named Kano. For those who don't know, Kano used to be a friend as well ally to the Special Forces. That is until he pretty much been the whole entire reason for the Black Dragon organization is because he was the one who organized it. As such, she pretty much hunted down Kano, and unfortunately, and some reason, she was actually towards something big. You see, Kano is actually teaming up with the sorcerer Shang Tsung, and in his term in Mortal Kombat, and on a turret island to be such. To hunt down Kano and arrest the man, she had no choice but to participate in the tournament. And does so? She did, but kinda. And basically now, things that went on with tile traveling, taking out the Black Dragons, especially killing her rival, but that's a different time and much more complicated than Catwoman and DC's. Huh. Well anyways, what can they do? Well Sonya, well actually, Catwoman, sorry, computer won't wait, she's actually pretty good. Despite her hand-to-hand combat experience, she is pretty good with kind of stuff. I mean, she was able to cable up Hoya Bodyguard, and thanks to the fact that she did manage to run the streets as well being kept up with dodging every single attempt, she actually pretty good at SIO, and especially the fact she is capable of dodging many things such as traps, lasers, bullets, anything in sight. She is also expert with hand-to-hand combat of both Armor's Master as well as Wildcat, such as karate, kung fu, as well as many more. But however, there are many arsenal for Catwoman, but her iconic ones, as one of them is a whip. She usually uses it to grab things as well from long distance, but she usually uses her whip mostly for destroying enemies, point down, and or just knock them out. And not only that, she also has her own signature returnable claws. With those, she can actually use it to climb on walls or even use it to cut through glass. And plus, not only that, she can able to use those to scale up buildings and even claw to them, even reacting with any time with her gloves. Especially with her goggles, especially can she see through traps, especially can use as deep vision, where she able to dot in a sight. And for the console strategy she ring in some occasion, it is not that special. It does mostly just a blast super skin tight suit, but it's pretty much good to use. I mean, after all, she's a thief, and she's pretty agile, so understand why that she wear that. Mostly because to increase her speed. You know, with that said, with those, she able to perform some crazy things, especially escaping juvenile detention when she was young, as well be a bunch of people. Now, as for Sonya, her arsenal is pretty much wide, but to keep it simple, here's some things I could say. Sonya Blade is definitely a high rank of the Special Force unit with good reasons. For starters, she is a capable fighter, and she pretty much learned those in her ways out of martial arts, especially keep up with other Morph characters such as Kano, Sub-Zero, the V-Hunt version, Raiden, as well as many more, especially Raiden version of both Jax and Scorpion. Impressive for a military mortal of a soldier. But not only that, she is consistent with putting out arsenals. There are some few ones, especially with some things, but her most iconic ones are a few. Mainly her wrist devices, aka her power gloves. With those, she can able to shot into plasma, where pretty much shocks the main opponents, as well as energy rings, and as well can be used in main advantages. To put it shortly, it just mostly uses to blast, as well using them to form fatalities. Seriously, I'm not kidding. And there's a few left arsenal I didn't mention here, such as pistols, C4 explosives, assault rifle, even some frag grenades. She also possesses 2 drones, but I think one of them is pretty much the KAT drone. It mostly acts like a walking on drone, like you see in movies, but basically it walks on its own and pretty much shoot anything at it. And there's another one that pretty much hits her with any bull shots, but that's for another one. But basically enough, with all her arsenal and and also her training, she is capable of keeping on toe-to-toe with other Mortal Kombat characters, even surviving them several times. And knowing that, she also became grand leader to the SF, especially our investigations. Alright, not bad, not bad. But any thoughts about them? Yeah, pretty much. Despite of Catwoman's impressive feats and for her own safety, and pretty much she is a skilled thief, she is still human and she can still be killed with enough force. Plus, despite all her achievements, she just pretty much reckless and sometimes risk-taking to aim her sight, especially taking her own life. Plus, despite being skilled, if anyone who's skilled enough and visual can able to take her down easily. And basing on what that said, it pretty much proved at a point. There are some fights that she had lost in the past. Sometimes to the bat, sometimes to many people, and sometimes in injustice to when love relationship between the bat and the cat. And I forgot one more thing, something about her suit. I don't know. It's pretty much interesting, but most of the time there's some things that she unsuccessful to steal. Well, sometimes, but you know what I mean. But Catwoman is not a bad person. While she is a skilled cat thief, but she just mostly been reckless ever since her childhood, and mostly just a risk taker at this point. Seriously, look at her history. But I actually feel bad for her own parenthood. Yeah. Now, as for Sonya, she is definitely have her own flaws. Mainly in fact, she does have lots of main fights, and plus, even in military status, she get able to be overwhelmed by any odds that stack against her, especially by whether it be eternal elder gods, or even such more. And plus, she mostly used her toys before herself, and basically that mostly caused her near-death experience, or it caused her to her death. But even then, even though she did die, although that is pretty much pointless for Sonya's death because of Kombat being rebuilt, but overall, she is not a bad character. After all, she had a daughter and a husband, who is now single. And with her past self no one had a rival, that pretty much make her somewhere not especially more. And she did die, so, and she became a slave. Yeah, I got an idea how to say for this nonsense. To put it simply, she's a skilled fighter and military, but not a great one. Despite all this, both of them are capable fighters, thanks to the fact that Sonya is pretty much good at both military and became the general of the SF, and Selena is a skilled and high skilled one as a thief. Although both can win this one, and based on the winner of this episode is Sonya Blade. Now, before anyone say, but Catwoman has some advantages, yeah, I get it. Now, basically, for I produced this episode, I didn't include any non-canon versions of both of them, especially the fact that I did use some continuity ones. So, forgive me, there's some things I missed. But overall, here's some things, the reason why that Sonya wins this episode. For one, while she is a capable fighter, but there are some things that Sonya have over against her. For starters, she is much faster than Sonya, considering that the fact that she able to react to bullets much faster than Sonya Blade ever could, despite of dodging lasers and, well, based on anything at least. And plus, while both of them are technically at the same category at both intelligence, it basically know they have much more experience against tougher foes, especially to someone that Sonya faced with immortality. But I think something have end there, because despite of all of this, what I think that Sonya is failed to do is that while Sonya have some things at her belt, Sonya actually is far more awesome than her. I mean, hell, there's a lot of things that I could state. And plus, knowing that Sonya can able to keep up with other fighters, especially can take on some foes, especially towards Shokan, especially to Cabal Spin, we're able to advance at Mach 2. And plus, even just getting to other characters like Kotaro's survival of the nuclear blast, get able to sort of 1.24 tons of TNT, especially to the wall bossy, which is far more powerful that make her at best large building level. Now at best, both them are capable on fighting each other, especially gone toe-to-toe with other opponents. But even compared to Catwoman's speeds to face up with others, it's pretty much pale comparison from Sonya's, because Sonya have fought many tougher ones, especially towards Kano as well as Geras, who is able to defeat as well kept up toe-to-toe from both Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and Raiden, where Raiden is capable of facing out tougher ones, especially over 1,000 years. And I keep on saying this, but even then, comparing to other characters like Scorpion, who can easily compare to blood magic infused Raiden, where at best create thorns that's surrounded by cities, at best Lilo at least. Well, to put it shortly, while both of them are good at both their intelligence, as well both of them have high skill experience, and Sonya is definitely faster, but overall Sonya is definitely far more stronger and much more faster of also to win a fight. It was end of combat for Catwoman. The winner of this episode is Sonya Blade.
Get ready for the next battle.